What's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another talking video in the dork room. It's been quite some time since I've done a video with this format. I wanted to talk about my haul from San Diego Comic-Con 2024, and I wanted to do my review on the Deadpool Wolverine movie all in one video. I did not pick up a ton of stuff, so this haul portion, isn't going to be too lengthy. I only had two exclusives that I really wanted to get. You may or may not have already seen my review on Death's Head. So I reviewed Death's Head yesterday. Please check out that video if you haven't already. If you don't want to watch it, well, okay, that's all right. Stay here. And then I also picked up the Once a Man Cobra Commander figure from G.I. Joe Classified, and I really wanted this one as well. So those were the two exclusives that I had my eyes set on. That's what I really wanted. The Hasbro breakfast was awesome. At the end of it, I got to hang out with a whole bunch of people, which is great. And I got to walk out with a goodie bag. So there was some cool stuff in there. New Mark 85 Iron Man, which is very similar to the one I have on the shelf right here. I'm just trying to see for the first time how much of a difference there is between the two Iron Men. And you can see there actually are some subtle differences between the two. So, yeah, this newer one actually does look better. It has more gold on it. Has more paint on the back. Interesting. So there's a ShartimusPrime review in 20 seconds for you. Wow. Yeah, same body mold, just better paint. I added... did this one come with this nano gauntlet? I think it did. And then I also got a free Darth Vader that came in that package. Even though I don't know if I like this one as much as the one that I have on my shelf, because this one has the chain. So I don't know, man. I mean, I like them both, but... I don't know, I'll have to observe in greater detail. It also included a bunch of stuff that I was able to give the kids. There's this Rice Krispie Treat Transformer pop set, which was really fun to make that with my kids. And then I also gave them Furblets, and they also got Magic the Gathering cards. Yes, my kids are 6 and 5 years old, and they love Magic the Gathering. And from that breakfast, they also hooked it up with the Transformers 1 movie poster, which, by the way, seeing the clips during Hall H. Oh my God, cannot wait to see this movie. And then from Hall H, for the Marvel Studios Hall H panel, gotta give a big thanks to Andy and his family for letting me hang out and chat with them for so long. Thanks so much, Andy, for hooking me up with this Superman and Lois poster. I actually want to watch this show now after being in that panel and seeing some of the footage from the final season. I was like, oh crap, that show actually looks really good. Also, I'm super excited for the James Gunn Superman movie that I am on a huge Superman kick right now, as I've mentioned several times. The Penguin show looks like it's going to be awesome. I was there for that panel. I saw the whole thing. Colin Farrell is just going to crush it. His portrayal of the Penguin is just amazing. They got into the details of how they made the suit, or the body suit and the mask and the makeup and everything, and how there's actually like a bird face in the scar. We got to see some footage for the Captain America Brave New World trailer. There's a whole bunch of Red Hulk in it, so I got to see a bunch of Red Hulk, front and center and everything, and that was awesome. Harrison Ford came out on stage going, "Rah!" And that was incredible. We also saw Galactus, which was amazing. I couldn't freaking believe it. That was so awesome. My poster got wrinkled on the edges a little bit, but I love this poster right here, and I'm going to hang it up probably on the wall or on the closet door right over there. So I am super pumped for that. I also got a free head sculpt over here from Uncanny Sculpts. Check them out. That's the card he gave me. Uncanny Sculpts. Shout out. And he had a bunch of head sculpts in a bag, and he asked me if I could pick one, and I went with the Avalanche head sculpt right here. So I do have to paint it myself, but damn it, the Screaming Avalanche head looks way cooler than the one that came with the figure right here, I gotta say. So I just wanted to do a little pop and swap. And it looked, he warned me that I would have to use some sticky tack, but without even using sticky tack, that does look very cool. I'm just going to have to figure out a way to paint that so it matches the silver on the rest of the figure, or maybe I'll just repaint all of the silver on the figure. Who knows? We'll see what I do with that. And then got to give a big thanks to Mr. Dave Wheeler. He hooked me up with a Dave Wheeler patch right there. It's our Dave Wonder patch. So I'm very happy to have that. Thank you, bro. During the Fantastic Four panel, or afterwards, we had to pick them up, but we got a Fantastic Four fan. And this is really cool. I don't know. I just like it, and it's a little bit warm in here. I've been sweating ever since yesterday because I went for a jog for the first time in like a few months, and my body's been sweating ever since yesterday afternoon. So there you go. That's what you get for being out of shape, Russ. But yeah, this is very, very cool, and I'm happy to have it. I'm very much looking forward to that movie. The footage that they showed of Galactus, he's like as tall as a skyscraper, turning his head into the window. It looked like there's like some kind of crazy decomposition stuff going around the eyes right here, but you can still see the squares and the pupil around the pupil. Oh man, so sick. And then the last thing I actually purchased was a signature by Deadpool's daddy himself on Deadpool Day. I got a signature from Rob Liefeld right over there. Waited in line for over an hour to get that. And the pen was hella weak, and the signature was hella small. And I walked away and I was hella bummed out. I was like, damn, dude. That signature sucked. And he was barely even looking at me, too. He was, like, preoccupied. Look, it was, like, one of those things where, like, say you're me. He was just like this the whole time. Looking this way, talking to somebody that way, looking that way some more. And then like that. And then, and I was like, wow, for real. I was like, there was, like, no interaction. Except for the comic, actually. He did actually... I'm lying. He did... that was before I brought the comic. And then he asked me... He's like, so you brought me to sign this because I inked it. And I was like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, I inked this. And of course, I take it out for him to sign. And I love this comic because it was given to me by Mike while I was getting stuff signed by Michael Turner way back in 2004. So this is a treasured piece of mine with all my favorite comic artists' signatures on there. And you may recognize some of these signatures. Like, you really should recognize some of them. But yeah, Rob Liefeld signed it right here. He said that he went through the book. And he's like, yeah, Todd was running behind, and I had to save his ass. I think he said he did, I think it was this panel. I think he said he inked this panel, this page, and then there was another page in the back. He said it was this one that he did also. He inked this page. So he was like, oh, you want me to sign it because I worked on this? And I was like, really? And then, yeah, so that was actually cool. So I take it back. He did interact with me a little bit, but I was bummed out about the signature. Gave myself a moment, looked at it again, and I was still bummed out about it. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to ask him to sign again. There's not that much space on here, so I figured maybe I should have told him where I wanted it to be signed because he had a hard time finding a spot. And then I was just very patient in my way approaching the people that assist him, and I was like, I'm not an entitled customer or anything, but if it's possible to get him to like sign it again, that would be really cool. And then the guys were like, yeah, it looked like a shitty signature. You could tell on their faces like, yeah, that's kind of bullshit. So I showed it to Rob, and then he looked at it, and he was like, yeah, okay, that was pretty bad. So he's like, give me a new pen, and he got a new pen. He's like, yeah, it doesn't pop. Here, I'll get it. I'm not going to sign it again. I'll just sign over it another time so it pops. And I was like, okay, now he won me over again. And he understood where I was coming from, didn't give me a hard time at all. So now I got a good Rob Liefeld signature right over there. Stoked about that. And then that's pretty much it as far as my pickups. I got some Hasbro pins. I got this Deadpool shirt right over here, which you saw me wearing in my interview with the Hasbro team. I just cut off the sleeves, and that's all the goodies that I got. I pretty much just picked up 2 exclusives and the Rob Liefeld signature, and everything else was like part of a goodie bag or a giveaway from the Hall H panel. So let's talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm going to talk non-spoilers first, and I'll get into spoilers. I saw it Thursday night at the AMC Mission Valley Theater in San Diego at 9 p.m. 3D viewing. I saw it with the Ruckus, Reg Henny, JC, and Carbon Scoring. We had a fantastic time. Got to chat with them a whole bunch after. We were hanging out for hella long. It was great. We're all geeking out and everything. So this is still the non-spoiler section. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but I just got to say, 3D, not a deal breaker. I love watching 3D. I love the D-Box and the 4D and all that stuff. For this particular movie, I didn't necessarily feel like if you were missing out on 3D, that you're going to miss out on something major. I actually saw the movie a second time with Charlita 1 on Sunday in 2D, and I didn't really miss the 3D so much. I liked the 3D, but it wasn't a major factor. There were some scenes where it did stand out pretty cool, though. And I would say that I had more fun watching the movie than I expected. I mean, I expected to have a lot of fun watching it, but it was even more fun than I expected. There were scenes that I was hoping to see in the movie that I did not see. It didn't make me feel bummed out in any kind of way. I was fine with it. I also want to say that if you're jumping into this movie and you haven't watched too much MCU, I think the only thing you should watch is maybe like the first few episodes of season 1 Loki, or maybe the whole season 1 Loki if you like it, but just watch a little bit of that Loki Disney Plus series to get your head wrapped around the TVA, and that'll help if you haven't seen that already. But aside from that, you don't have to watch much else to really familiarize with Deadpool 3 if you've already seen Deadpool 1 and 2. I agree with JC on this. The movie didn't make me feel like the MCU was particularly saved, but it did send a clear message to the dudes that, hey, we will make cool movies for you. I think that's what it was. That they just wanted to say, hey, look, we can still make cool movies for the dudes. So dudes, here you go. And I think they nailed it. I loved this movie. I saw it twice. I've been wanting to see it again. I'm not a big fan of pop tunes, but I've had these pop tunes stuck in my head. Like a Prayer, Bye 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 has been stuck in my head. Like a Prayer, that's a dirty song. I remember hearing it when I was a kid, but I was like, oh shoot! Now that I'm an adult, I'm like, ooh, that's a dirty, dirty song, Madonna. Oh, who figured, right? But anyway, I watched the movie twice, and then I watched Deadpool 2. Like, I had to watch Deadpool 2. I love the movie. All right, let's get on to spoilers. This movie was more of a farewell to Fox than it was like, here's what we're going to do with the MCU moving forward. You know, there's all that whole Marvel Jesus and all that stuff. I don't think he's Marvel Jesus. It didn't really come off to me as Marvel Jesus. But it felt like Marvel Studios was sending the message to the dudes, like, hey, we will make cool movies for you guys. We can do that. It did not feel like they held back. It didn't feel like any of the dirty like, it had all the same amount of dirty jokes that we'd gotten with other Deadpool movies. I felt like this was not a censored Deadpool in any kind of way, and I thought it was just fantastic. I really liked it. I love that fourth wall scene when Deadpool like says goodbye to Fox. And I mean, in Deadpool 2, he complains about the lack of budget and everything, and in this one he says, I got a big bag of money and I'm going to Disneyland, fuck you Fox, and then just runs off. I thought that was great. I loved how the story was put together. Very simple story. Very straightforward plot. It needed to be simple and straightforward because you have all this weird time jumping multiverse kind of thing going on with all these different fucking Wolverines all over the place. It makes sense that the story would kind of have to be, you know, a little bit straightforward, which I thought was fine, especially because the characters were really good. There's a good little backstory for the new Wolverine. Deadpool's story I thought was solid, so I really liked, like, the two main characters had very good arcs, and I thought that helped drive the movie all the way through. The fact that those two characters were very solid, it just made the whole movie feel solid, even though it's surrounded by all this chaos. And then I gotta say, man, Hugh Jackman was just amazing in this movie. Seeing all the different versions of Wolverine, which, by the way, comic accurate Wolverine was just freaking hilarious. I laughed so hard. But, dude, seeing all those different Wolverines was freaking awesome. Seeing Patch, seeing AOA Wolverine, it just solidified in my mind that I don't think anybody else could ever play Wolverine but Hugh Jackman. I fantasized maybe about like Tom Cruise playing Hugh Jackman, and then they had the Calverine in there. But nah, dude, now that I've seen all these different versions and Hugh Jackman just nailed every single version, till you're 90, please. Till you're 90. I am down, man. Old Man Logan was great. All that stuff, man. I loved it. And then the cameos. Oh my goodness. Like when we see Chris Evans in this movie, and then you hear him say "flame on" and he bursts into flames, that totally caught me off guard. For some reason, I thought to myself, why didn't I see that coming? I loved that I didn't see that coming, and it was awesome. And I like how Chris Evans even changed the way he talked, the little bit of head twitching and bobbing. You don't see Captain America do that. You see Johnny Storm do that. I recently watched the Fantastic Four movie, so that worked out well for me. And I'm on a big Fantastic Four kick right now. So for my DC, I'm all about Superman. For my Marvel, I'm all about Fantastic Four. So that was awesome to see. Seeing Blade in there was amazing. I was like, oh, holy crap. Even though I feel like, I mean, there's something with his face, right? Look, did he have a stroke? I don't know if he had a stroke or something, but it was like one side of his face looked like it couldn't move. And then he said a line in there that he's like the only one and only Blade ever or something like that. And I was like, really? I thought they were going to do Blade. Anyway, I don't know what happened with Cottonmouth playing Blade, but I guess we're not going to see that. Elektra was great because I always thought Jennifer Gardner really trained hard for that character, and seeing her bring it back, and the little nod to Darren Ben Affleck, who I hate, who died, and they say, oh, my condolences for Daredevil. That's okay. I thought that was hilarious. And then seeing X-23, I love her screaming. I love that she put the glasses back on. I thought that was awesome. But Channing Tatum as Gambit, I loved that so much. How fun was that? Come on. I mean, the remarks about the accent and everything, that was freaking hilarious. And what a weird combination, right? Like, we're making fun of the portrayal of Gambit, but at the same time, they still managed to make Gambit hella sick. Like, the cards flying everywhere, the acrobatics, the stuff. Like, it was awesome. And I liked seeing, I mean, I'm happy he did the accent, even though it wasn't the greatest. I thought it was awesome. I loved everything about Gambit in that movie. I thought it worked out awesome. For this movie. I don't think in reality, to take him serious, I don't know if they could ever actually bring him back to be Gambit again. Maybe somebody else. It wasn't that great overall, but for this particular movie, the way they did it, I thought it was perfect. Deadpool fight scene at the end. Oh man, so freaking awesome. Seeing Hugh Jackman put that mask on. Oh man, I got so pumped for that. And just so much blood and slashing and shooting, and just the gore and action was just amazing and so freaking satisfying. I absolutely loved it. Man, the only little gripe I had about it is when they jump out of the bus at the end, like that Wolverine looked 100% CGI. That even looked worse than like a video game. I see better effects in freaking PS5 Spider-Man 2. Like, just the way his arms were bent all the way back in the face. It looked like that wasn't Hugh Jackman at all in there. It was just 100% CGI. I wish that looked a little bit better. That's a minor nitpick. Didn't ruin the movie for me. I just thought it looked exceptionally, CG. And I wasn't... It was just a little nitpick right there. Of course, did not ruin the movie. The end credit scene. Oh, man. Seeing Chris Evans... say all those lines, I thought that was hilarious. That was so funny. Oh, I also have to mention Cassandra Nova. The actress that played Cassandra Nova, she was awesome. She was scary as hell. And it's not very often that we get great villains in Marvel movies, but she was an awesome villain. And her whole thing about sticking fingers in people's faces, and you see the fingers sticking out of the nose and all that shit. Oh, God, that was awesome. It was so gross. I love having a villain that just genuinely grossed me out. It was so freaky. Like, oh, dude. And then the TVR guy, or the time divergent, you know what I'm talking, TVA English dude, that actor was really good too. So I liked all the acting. I love that that Ryan Reynolds was able to bring in all his friends into this thing. And Ryan Reynolds just carries the movie as always. I didn't even really talk about Deadpool or Ryan Reynolds in this whole review, mostly because it kind of just goes without saying, the guy just nails it. He just nails Deadpool all the way through. It's just absolutely hilarious. I like the suit changing scene where he's with the tailor and he's getting groped all over the place. Oh my God. And afterwards he's like, yeah, I think your tailor's a predator, but I really like the suit. The whole thing was funny. A lot of dirty jokes. And oh man, I loved it. I can't wait to see it again. I'm debating whether or not I should see it in the theater again or just wait until I can buy it on digital download. I don't know. But I loved it. I want to know what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comments section below. If you liked the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for more. I got a Hot Toys Spider-Man review coming up very soon. So stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Woo-hoo! Hey, new Shartimus Prime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face.